Hello everybody, so I'm actually pretty sick if you can't tell by the sound of my voice, so I'm actually feeling a bit more like that guy right now. But we have some really exciting news, so I wanted to go ahead and get this video out. So I promise I will try my best to get rid of any sniffles or coughs in the final edit. You just gotta deal with this voice a little bit. Sorry y'all. But this is an update that every author and every reader is going to want to know about. Something that is pretty imminent that's gonna be going on over at Campfire. Campfire, for those of you who do not know, is a program that I personally use to basically like organize my chaotic mess of thoughts all the damn time. But they're doing something new. They're doing something very, very interesting. They are opening up a monetization program for authors. That's right, they are taking on the Goliath that is Amazon. Okay, not really. They aren't really taking on Amazon, but it is interesting and exciting for authors to have yet another opportunity, another place where they can sell their books, and perhaps a place that will be a bit, smaller, a bit fewer authors, so to speak. A place where you might be able to kind of show yourself a little bit more instead of just Amazon, where you often get buried by the algorithm. But while we're on the subject of announcements and updates, I also have a little bit of an announcement for you all about this that's related to me and my book, as well as a little tiny reveal, something that I'm going to reveal for the very first time in this video. We'll get to that in just a little bit. First, I want to talk to you about Campfire, the monetization program, and what it means for you as both author and as a reader. And just to be clear, this is not sponsored by Campfire. In fact, I made sure not to seek out a sponsorship or any kind of giveaways or anything from Campfire, because I just wanted to speak directly with you and not have them right here. So if this is sponsored by anything, it's probably sponsored by my merch. I'm starting to make some merch, some writing related merch, and you can find that in the link down below. Let's start with the major highlight for authors, the sticker shock highlight. Campfire is going to be offering 80% royalties, which beats out every other provider. There is one small catch though. Campfire will not be able to sell books below $2.99, as you can see in this table here. I'm not sure if they will allow sales for lower or offer coupons like, say, Smashwords, but it's definitely something I'll be suggesting if it's not something they're already considering. Now, $2.99 is going to be the cutoff for most retailers, including Amazon, that inverts your royalties and drops them down to 30% from their 70%. To kind of give some numbers behind that, when I put my book Rise on sale for 99 cents, each one of those sales ends up about 33 cents before taxes. There is another huge boon here that it's not quite being released just yet, but it's related to audiobooks. And if the 10% adjusted royalty, the 10% improved royalties from Campfire's monetization program isn't big enough, I'm pretty sure the audiobook one will be. But we'll save that to the end because it is still kind of not fully fleshed out the way the other monetization program is. The other boon here is that they're going to be offering a way to give content to your readers that you normally wouldn't be able to, or you would have to go to somewhere like Patreon or somewhere else to supply additional content. As I mentioned, Campfire, before all of this monetization, was a place where you could go and basically create your world, create your story. Kind of the same type of thing as Scrivener, a place where you can gather up all your background, all your character information, your maps, timelines, those kind of things. Well, now you're going to be able to offer that to your readers within the same reader. And that's what we'll go ahead and transition over to the reader side, because that's probably going to be the biggest thing that readers are going to be excited about. It's going to basically take all of that extra content that readers crave and put it in one place, as long as the author decides to put it there after anyway. That one place is going to be through Campfire, either on their desktop, which is currently available, or the mobile tablet reader app, which they'll be rolling out soon, probably by the end of this year or the start of next year. These are some mock-ups of what that might look like, and it's looking pretty much like what you would expect a reader to look like, and that makes me excited because I'm hoping to see like a polished product. But of course, Campfire is going to have some time to get to the same level of like, you know, a reader as other competitors are going to get to. I personally noticed some lag when I was on when I was on the desktop, but honestly, when I have used readers, other desktop readers, there's been lag there too. There's lag in Kindle, there's lag everywhere. You know, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe it's my computer that's the issue. Huh. But the cool thing here is just going to be having all that extra information in a very easily accessible thing. As you can see here, it's just here on the left-hand side. It's something you can quickly access to. And one of the cool things is authors are actually able to choose when certain things are going to be revealed based off of a chapter. So let's say that a character is introduced in chapter 3, they can hold off on revealing that character's profile until chapter 3 and reveal it after someone has read through chapter 3. Basically allows the author to kind of control spoilers a little bit, and also kind of maybe fight against the worst impulses of readers to read everything all at once, so that they can still get that little surprise. Authors can give you as much or as little extra content as you want, and you'll be able to easily see how much extra content, how many elements there are when you're basically previewing the thing before you purchase it. As you can see here, you can probably see how many elements I have, which and I guess that is my not very eloquent transition into my announcement, which is, yes, I will be part of the initial monetization program. I am lucky enough to be included in this with about 30 to 50 other authors, and I am honored and humbled to be so. I will be able to sell my book on Campfire in this initial wave and perhaps give you a review of it later before, you know, seeing if it's worth it for you in the future. I am very, very excited for this and very happy about it because, like, as I was saying, I'm not really a huge fan of being exclusive anywhere, and I think anyone who is coming into the market, especially one like Campfire that is seeming to be very author focused on making sure that it's a good experience for the author and for the reader, that I'm really just excited to be a part of it and humbled, very humbled. Not something I expected. My book and those of the other authors that are in this initial monetization program will be available on October 30th, but they will be looking to opening up this monetization program to other authors like yourself, as early as 2024, early 2024. I'll hold off on the reveal though. We'll wait, because I didn't mean to give the announcement right here. I'm sick. That's my excuse. But one of the coolest parts is that anything the author adds after you purchase is automatically going to be updated for you as the reader. So if, say, I add more details or more art to character pages or locations, you'll get that without needing to repurchase. From the author's standpoint, there is of course the royalty aspect, but you also get the ability to provide extra context when you want to, extra author notes, things that you want the reader to know about. If you want to create more understanding of the world that you have created, because as authors we do a shit ton of research that never actually gets into the book, then maybe this is your opportunity to take all that extra work and provide it to the readers that really want that extra content. Just, I would caution here, perhaps don't over-explain, because reader theories are part of the fun. Reader theories are what are exciting to see. What, for me specifically, hearing what people think is going to happen or think happened in the history is one of my favorite parts so far about writing. Seeing how they engage with the material, which there is plenty of comment sections on Campfire's monetization program, so that's an exciting thing to see. The way that I'm thinking about this is kind of like the front matter of your book. If you had a map or if you had a timeline, it gives them a much beefier version of that. For example, this timeline here shows all the different things that I have put in the story, things that I wasn't really able to show in this kind of way in the front matter of my book. But it also means that I can really go high resolution with an interactive map, which that's the reveal. I want to show you the map that I commissioned just for this. The map that I commissioned in honor of the launch of Campfire's monetization program. And it's like, I didn't make this map, it's just beautiful. Here is the map that will be shown in Campfire in their monetization program. Now, I want to end with the aforementioned thing that is not quite ready yet, but I'm perhaps even more excited about with Campfire than their current monetization program, and that's audiobooks. This is still in the works, so it may change between now and when it finally launches, but it's something that I think is desperately needed in this space, and that's simply a competitor to Audible that is truly author-centric. Royalties for audiobooks are really fucking lackluster across all platforms. Audible, if you are non-exclusive with them, offers you 25%. That is not a mistype or a misspeak. They offer you 25% royalties. Keep in mind that Audible isn't publishing you necessarily. They're not. You do not have a contract with them where you are basically getting an advance or anything like that. Audible is the place where you can sell your book. Now, I will say in defense of Audible, they do making contracts easier when you're trying to find a narrator. In fact, they are my go-to for finding a narrator when it comes to setting all that up, because they have the legal framework there for you. But still, 25%, and it's definitely something that they do to encourage you to be exclusive with Audible, because if you're exclusive, your royalties bump up to 40%. But if you are non-exclusive with Audible and you sell 100 copies for their baseline Audible credit price at $14.95, the total sales would be $1,495, and your royalties would be $374. Findaway Voices doesn't change this much, and it's even more confusing because they work as an intermediary for your audiobooks, kind of like Drafted Digital for print and ebooks. They have a retail purchase model that pays you between 32% and 50% of retail purchase price. This is despite Findaway Voices advertising at 80% of royalties. What they mean is they provide you 80% after several deductions. It honestly gets very confusing when you look at all the different retailers and how their pricing structures and or subscription models impact your audiobook sales, but TimothyMoonlight.com breaks down the mathematics, and I have linked that down below if you want to check it out yourself. Basically, you get 80% of the remaining after retailer commission, so if a retailer gives you 50% commission, Findaway takes 20% of that 50% and you get the remainder. A $14.95 audiobook with a 50% retailer commission would mean you get $7.48 from that retailer. Findaway takes 20% of that $7.48, which works out to $1.50, leaving you with roughly $6 for the sale of a $14.95 book. Roughly the same as an Audible exclusive. That shows that the benefit of Findaway isn't necessarily the royalties, it's just not being exclusive to Amazon. Then there's Soundwise, which offers 100% royalties but ties that behind subscription fees that could end up great for you or horrible depending on how many sales you have. Enter Campfire, who is aiming at 80% royalties for audiobooks. Again, this is subject to change, but having it directly through Campfire could be a huge boon to authors in a space that has really struggled lately, and a growing market for audiobooks. Audiobooks are a very fast growing area for authors, and it gives authors a way to do this through a visible platform. There are, of course, other means like going through YouTube or going through Patreon, but this is more of a discoverable. I mean, I guess technically YouTube is discoverable, but you cannot hide it behind any costs. So basically you just pay advertising fees, and having advertising on an audiobook feels weird in some ways because you have no idea what those advertising things are gonna be. That's beside the point. But if you're interested in testing out Campfire and testing out what they have to offer, both just as a monetizing platform or as something to help you organize, I have linked them down below. And If you want to, you can actually start publishing your work on there right now. That work will currently be available for free, but they're looking at expanding this monetization program to other authors as early as early 2024. If you want to see more about Campfire, I cover that in this video right here when I talked about 5 essential tools when it comes to writing. You'll excuse me, I'm gonna go lay down because I feel like shit. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.